Welcome to Nameless Debate Radio, where radioactivity is contagious.
I know this. I know this.
It's okay because it's worth it.
So, I'm confused exactly, Cross. What is your contention with my idea? Because it doesn't seem like you have one, but at the beginning it looked like you were trying to put forward one.
No, dude. I mean, that was really robotic, so I'm not 100% sure. But I thought I made this clear yesterday. My only contention is that you claim objective truth. You claim to know for certain.
Did you even read what I said, man? Do you want me to read it?
No,
look, I'll read from it.
No. I'm not looking for that. All I'm saying is that when I first met you with your theories and what you were saying, it seems to me, just off of your explicit language, that you are claiming to know for certain. Now that you've clarified that, right? I don't have a problem that because you're saying you don't know for certain.
Okay, but today at 9:27 a.m. my time, you posted a problem that you did have. From what I can see, you said.
But my problem is that you were being grandiloquent. My issue was that how you were emphasizing,
That's a facile criticism.
You were reiterating that you had a theory, and that just seemed grandiloquent.
No, dude, that is such a facile criticism.
No, dude, you don't need to emphasize your subjectivity that much. What's the benefit of doing that?
What does that mean?
It means you don't need to tell me that your theory could be wrong.
I mean, that's literally what you were complaining about yesterday, dude.
He did say that he claimed objective truth, so he would have to.
Daz, you weren't there.
I cannot fucking
Why are you
believe
talking about
this.
something you don't know?
But you just said right now that your problem, you don't have a problem anymore because you said that you don't know for sure. You just said that right now, though, right? So that would imply that you had a problem.
Yes, and he clarified that, but he said that 5 different times in
Of
this
course,
one.
because.
But why are you doing that? You told me that once.
That
You don't
seems to
need
be
to
a
do
really
that
shallow criticism.
Yeah,
Because,
it seems pretty shallow.
Man, you didn't seem to understand it, and I thought it was clear before, so I tried to make it as clear as I could.
No, Matt. When you
Come on, man.
clarify that there is a metaphysical model, and then you name that model DM theory, in the way you're doing it right now, I know that this is just a theory because you're saying that it's a theory. When I was arguing with you, the first few days, right? You didn't say that this was a theory.
Hey, have you ever considered asking, is this just a theory? Are you certain? What's it called?
No, Matt.
In an argument,
the first argument you ever had,
all of your positions are subject to change. I mean,
yeah, but that's obvious, right? But it's not in explicit.
Well, then why are you complaining about it?
No, then let me explain. Stop fucking asking me. Let me talk. Holy shit, Matt. The first thing that I said to you was that if what you're saying is true, this would make sense. That is exactly what I said to you.
Yeah, so then why are you still trying to object?
I'm not objecting.
It sure as fuck looks like it, man.
No, man. Why is this unclear to you? Why is this
unclear
because
to you? Okay, does anybody else think it kind of looks like he's objecting to my idea?
It looks like he's complaining about something.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're talking about.
No, but you're definitely saying something critical.
No, you asked me. You asked me if I had any suggestions or constructive criticisms to the way that you expressed yourself.
Yes, but the only reason I emphasize my subject,
criticism.
I understand, but listen to this, okay? You're criticizing the one little piece of text I wrote. I'm gonna fucking put this into word count, all right? This is something I wrote specifically because you told me it's 168 words, okay? I wrote it because you told me that you thought that I was putting my idea forward as absolute truth. So I wrote something that I thought, 168 words, it would be impossible to misinterpret me. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with that?
No, Matt,
That isn't how I
See,
usually
Matt,
go
Matt,
about
Matt,
proposing
no,
it.
wait. Let me talk. Like I'm trying to formulate a way that clearly articulates what I'm trying to say. Please let me do
Okay.
this. Okay.
Just so you know,
This
I have a
being
delay.
said, no, Matt, I get that, and it's fine. Just Matt, I'm not saying you're not making sense. That's not what I'm saying. You make sense here. You definitely make sense here. You make all of the sense here. I'm saying that you're actually making a bit too much sense, and you're repeating yourself. And the way that you're repeating yourself seems like you're trying to impress someone with all the words that you know.
Okay, so there's two parts to
Making
that.
too much sense. That's not a criticism I've ever heard before.
It's not, and well, I'll deal with the second part of it, which is that you think I'm being, as you would put it, grandiloquent. All right, I use the words that I know because they're necessary to capture the nuance that I'm looking for. Because if I don't use the variety of vocabulary that's necessary for the domain of discourse that I'm engaged in, then my ability to put over, like across to you what is inside my head is diminished.
Okay, wait, hold on. Like, let me show you something. This is I will like copy and paste this, right?
Mhm.
So like in studies and research, all of that is completely unnecessary. Everything here,
But
like
the
you
thing
don't
that
need
made
that.
it necessary was that you had a criticism about me not making this fucking clarification clear enough.
Yeah, but you've already made it clear. When you tell me
I
DM
well,
theory, you're telling
Then
me
it
that it's a
sounds like
theory
your
already. You're
criticism
telling
was
me
in
that
the
it's
wrong
objective.
case.
Like when you say, nonetheless, any postulations about data logic which I make, I subjectively believe, but I'm forever doomed to uncertainty, right? Like this seems super fatalistic. Just be confident in your theory. I know it's a
I
theory
am
already, and
confident
I
in
know
my
that.
theory.
You were just
I'm as
complaining that he
confident.
was putting it
Wait,
through.
Ross, don't you know?
True.
But I am
Don't you
forever
know?
doomed to uncertainty. Like that's.
Yes,
Yeah,
every
that's
single
true.
one of us is.
But of
It's a
course
fucking
you are.
fact.
Why are you saying that? Of course
Because
you are,
it's
though,
an
Matt. Why are
expression
you
of
saying
the
that?
it's an expression of his train of thought
Dad,
at the moment.
stop talking. I'm not talking to you, Dad. I'm not talking to you. Like, don't talk to me right now.
Dude,
I'm not
you're
talking to
such
you.
a fucking bitch.
Christ. We can't wax poetic
Like,
anymore.
I don't know why you're talking to me right now because this has nothing to do with you. I'm not talking to you, Matt. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Well, how about
When
you
you
get
tell me
into
it's
a
a
channel by
theory,
yourself?
obviously it's a postulation. Obviously you're uncertain. You don't need to tell me that you're doomed to uncertainty. You don't.
What was your criticism of me yesterday?
Wait, what words did I tell you yesterday?
No, what was your criticism of me?
Sorry, you're kind of being robotic. I'm not sure what you mean.
1 sec.
What was your criticism of him yesterday?
Yeah, like now I don't know what this is.
What was your criticism of?
No, I mean I can't. I'm barely hearing you, and the
I typed
like
it.
like connection is like strange. That's all I'm saying.
I typed it out.
Hold on.
It's in text, buddy.
Oh yeah.
You're fine. Though, in sync.
Hmm?
You're fine on my end. I think it's his data.
Yeah, you're fine for us. Wait, why is Cross getting mad when I talk, like in relevance to the conversation and not Crambo?
I don't know. His criticisms seem contradictory.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't even.
definitely
It doesn't. I don't know. It just from my perspective, I'm not really even sure what the criticism even is.
Well, the criticism yesterday was that, like when I'm putting my idea across, sometimes I don't make it clear what I know about epistemology that I often assume the other person knows, which is that I'm uncertain.
Okay.
And now he's complaining about you saying that you're uncertain because it's
It was
I think maybe he's saying that he overstated it, but I'm not sure.
I just don't even know. I don't understand. Like, all he had to do was ask what it was called. Ask, like, one or two basic questions about the idea. Ask if I was certain. It's not like he didn't have access to these questions.
It just sounds like mental midgetry to me.
I don't know what's going on.
I feel like
It almost seems like
this is a writing teacher critiquing like a high school like I don't even.
no. To me, it feels like the fact that I said that doomed to uncertainty had a negative connotation that he's having an emotional reaction to. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, but see, that doesn't make any sense.
He just doesn't like that you use a rather poetic turn of phrase. But I mean, that's,
Yeah, he
But
said
like,
it was
what's
fatalistic.
wrong with that?
No, he said it was
That's not
fatalistic.
fatalistic to me.
I don't
Well,
think so, but clearly he does.
it's just a phrase. Like Jesus.
Yeah, I
but,
happen to be a writer. It's not that surprising that I would put it
but
as well as I could.
I feel like it being fatalistic is like even besides like the point. Like I don't know if that like first of all, I don't think that it is. I think maybe
Yeah,
you can
I would
interpret
agree
it that way, but I don't think that. I think that's like besides the point. He's saying like you don't need to use the words that you're using in the way that you're using them, but like isn't the whole point of using like a broader vocabulary so that it's like easier to articulate exactly what you're trying to say? Like
Pretty sure that is the point, yeah.
that is the point.
That and so you're not using the same 5 words throughout the paper.
No, but I am
Okay,
consistent
agreed.
in my terminology.
Yeah,
Like
terminology, but you know you have to have a variety of language.
yes, but I do, but there are only a certain set of words that are appropriate. That's the whole point of knowing a lot of them.
Yep.
So on that, actually, Instinct, do you think it'd be beneficial for the whole world to speak the same language or no?
Probably not.
I don't mean like the other languages stop existing. Just
Then yes, then. But I think there's something that's very useful about having people know a different language to begin with, because there are things about the language that you notice when you're learning it, like as a conscious process, which you don't notice when you're like learning it as a child.
yeah.
That and some languages have terms for things that don't exist in other languages.
Yep.
Yeah. So knowing more of them.
There's a really great one in Greek for like flourishing that we don't have a word for properly in English. It's like sort of like maximizing the amount of like potential that you could realize, something like that.
Okay, so not necessarily flourishing, but like
Yeah, it's close
flourishing
to
to the best ability.
Yeah.
Just call that like self-actualization.
No, but it's not just self-actualization.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's
Right.
It's like really good self-actualization.
And then action on self-actualization.
Okay.
I think it's called like I probably won't say it properly, but it's like something close to eudaimonia or
Eudaimonia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Aristotle liked that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty cool. Do you think maybe eventually like all the languages will kind of like merge into this like completely
Probably not.
You don't think so?
I
I'm talking like in 5,000 years.
Here's an interesting one. I reckon that English is probably one of the most powerful languages.
I agree to that.
No question. I mean that's
the language of
solved by other languages too.
So but like English is the language of Western science for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope that English can have the kind of legacy that Latin had. That'd be great.
No, but the reason that English is so good is because it's a composite of all of the good bits from other languages.
Yeah, it's a pigeon of German and French.
Well, and a bit more, but yeah.
Yeah.
Primarily.
There's some Latin too.
Well, that is mostly inherited from the French. Yeah. There's a lot of Greek in there too, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that one word that we should just like throw into the English dictionary real quick, reclaim it, or not reclaim it, steal it.
Well, it's a commonly understood term within the realm of philosophy.
True.
I mean, anybody who read Aristotle knows what that word means.
Hey, do you guys have ananas?
Anonymous?
Like
What is-
Ananas.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
You
yeah, what
know
is
what that is?
it? No.
Okay. It's like a fruit.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what that
We have bananas.
Banana.
is. Bananas. I gotta look it up.
Where did Cross go, man?
I'm still here, but I don't know like what the problem is.
I mean, there's no
Wait.
problem necessarily.
That's a pineapple, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
dude. That's what I mean. I call it a pineapple in my country. I was wondering if you guys did as well.
Yeah, no, we call
Yeah,
it
that's a
pineapple.
pineapple.
I looked it up.
I
I'm like,
got
is there
something to do.
Huh?
Hate this kid.
What'd you
I
say,
got-
Cross?
He said, I got something to do, and then he left. I know he doesn't have
Oof.
to do.
I doubt that.
But, like, that's somebody who's full of himself in their head would say. Like,
He thinks himself to be quite intelligent.
But the thing is, dude, alright, I don't even want to argue that. But I will say that my whole problem with Cross is that he always says stuff like, I don't see what the problem is. But that's what everyone else doesn't see about everything he said. No one, he like,
I don't know. It's like hectic projection.
yes. Like, and it's so, it's definitely non-progressive. It's like, there's nothing at all to offer from what he says. Like, there's no, and it's like, he'll state something in like contention, but then say like he's not contending it. Like,
I know. I don't get it.
oh dude, and I don't know why. I don't even know why he always comes back. I mean, I'm fine with it, right? But it seems that he doesn't enjoy himself here.
Hey, Cranbert.
Yeah.
Do you want to do what is truth?
Well, truth is the state of being in accordance with reality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is that.
Is it? I don't know that it is.
Well, wouldn't it be?
I don't think so. That's like, you're talking about like a true proposition, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean when you say something is true because it is in accordance with reality?
Well, exactly what I said. Like this.
No, but why is that causal relationship a necessary, like, logical inference?
Because for practical purposes, the standard for which we set against a proposition would be whether or not it relates to what actually is.
No, but what do you mean when you say that something actually is?
That it exists.
I think you're saying a little more than that. Try to rephrase it in terms of the original question. When you say that something exists, you say that it is what? It's true.
Yeah.
Yes, and when we say that propositions are true, what do we mean?
That they accurately reflect reality.
Yes, and so then reality is what is actually true. Like, obviously, that's what we mean when we say that it's reality.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
do you think that like something can be true? I don't know. Do you believe that reality is subjective at all?
No.
So you're talking about reality outside of our scope.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a different
what-
topic.
No, reality is the real basis for things to exist.
Okay.
Like, you can't, it's not relevant to say, like, it's outside of our scope, so it's a different topic. It is like the foundation of your scope. It's the reason that you can think about things.
Hmm.
Wouldn't this never be true in reality when you solve minus 6 and so hard?
I cannot
Yo,
hear
your
that.
mic is.
That was horrible.
Yeah, it was very low and very staticky. Okay. Can you like? Okay.
Hmm?
I don't want you to say what you think truth is, because then it kind of ruins it.
All right.
Can anybody add maybe to spark some thought?
Well, what I'm kind of curious in getting his opinion on is how people get confused in their philosophy.
Oh, well, there's lots of information, and we don't all have access to the same information. And we probably don't have access to some of the relevant information. Maybe we could infer or deduce the relevant information if we knew the rules, but most of us aren't taught the rules, like at least not formally. And so, and the final problem is the thing that Cross fundamentally suffers from, it seems, is that like you need to check your work with other people because what's inside your head could always be wrong, and you probably wouldn't be able to see it. And it's only by getting it outside of your head and having it looked at by someone else that you can be sure that you're making sense.
Like for example, who's a philosopher that you think is not correct in more issues than
And more issues than not.
yeah.
I mean, I don't really bother to read philosophers like that, man.
All right. Like I would say that Marx was wrong.
Yeah, Marx, but I've only read like half of one book of Marx. So.
Which book was it?
It was the Communist Manifesto.
That thing's like a fucking pamphlet. Come on.
I mean, it's just a load of shit, though.
It is, but I mean, you haven't read Capital. Come
No, but it's not worth my time, man.
on. No, because you can diagnose where exactly you fucked up.
No, I don't think that the diagnosis is accurate, though. I understand that it's part of what's true. I don't think it is the fundamental solution.
You can look at his train of logic, and then you can determine where it went wrong.
No, but I know where it went wrong.
Where did it go?
The idea that there is just one problem is the problem. There's not just one problem. There's shitloads of them.
Yes,
You can't just say one of them causes all the others.
that's true. But
Yeah, that's a load of fucking bullshit. It's as simple
where
as
did
that.
his solution to the one problem go wrong?
There isn't one problem. You can't come up with a solution to that.
If he's attempting to solve,
Yes, but the thing is that if there's not just one problem, the solution that you come up with for the one problem looks like it works, but doesn't account for the relevant variables. Hence, over time, it fails.
yeah,
So I guess our ways of testing, like something that is true, has to hold up to basically the scientific method. Do you
Well,
think
like
that?
I would say, we have tested communism. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And do you think that that's just because that he was trying to solve one problem?
Oh, that's the main issue, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's made other mistakes.
That's what I was trying to talk about.
Yeah, but like, I'm just not that interested in it. I'm much more interested in talking to people who genuinely believe in the ideas because it's not too hard to deconstruct them.
okay, so would you say that truth then has to be able to Like a statement that is true has to be able to be, I guess, represented through the scientific method by like other people as well.
No.
Like
No, because there are truths that science can't express.
what?
Well, there are truths that empirical science cannot verify.
Yeah.
Science doesn't express truths, though.
So like
What's
what
an
would be an
example?
example?
Okay. Well, so like what we were talking about yesterday is that I think that there's a naturalistic metaphysic, and that is like consistent with a scientific model of thinking. But you could not test if that were true, because like any experiment that you do on your physical environment is necessarily subject to the physical constraints, and there's no way for you to breach those physical constraints to check what is underneath them.
Okay.
What exactly is a natural physics? What naturalistic?
I said a naturalistic metaphysic. It's the idea that like the foundation of reality is naturalistic. It doesn't require a god. Like it's just nature. That's all.
Just that things follow natural or physical laws.
No, it's that like according to the laws of nature, things always had to exist. That's basically it. Hence, what is true is what is real. Right? That's what we were saying before about reality.
Yeah.
When you say that something exists in actuality, when you say that there is a reality, you say things are actually true. And when you make a true proposition, what you're saying is that your proposition accurately reflects what is actually true, which means that by inference, there must be such a thing that is actually true.
Okay. So the fact that we can prove that at least one thing is true.
No, the
Therefore,
fact
there
that,
are.
like, it's not about proof. It's about, like, the fact that when you demonstrate something to be the case, you are, like, demonstrating that there is a case. And, like, even if what you think a case is completely off, right? Even if, say, this reality is conjured by the powers of like some demon to like confuse you about everything that you think you know, right?
Mhm.
No matter what, even if reality is fundamentally for you an illusion, you have to admit then that the illusion exists or that the demon exists, and there isn't a way out of that. You're just shifting the responsibility.
Okay.
Descartes.
Yeah, boy.
French philosophy
So-
is so.
So basically, the fact that there is a case, like even if it was conjured up by some other being, the fact that you can demonstrate it within whatever you're living within, which
The
is
fact
reality.
that even though you don't know any of the properties, characteristics, or conditions of the case, because the case could be such that it like fundamentally confounds you about the way that it is, there is no way to deny at the same time as admitting that you are confounded that there is no case.
Okay.
Sorry, there's no way to deny that there is a case. Double negative. But yeah, like it's basically Descartes' reasoning, right? Like if you doubt that things are, then you cannot like you can't make sense of doubting that you doubt. It just doesn't work. It's not a reasonable doubt.
Okay.
Because in the act of doing so, you prove yourself wrong. It's like the statement language is false. If I can communicate it to you, probably not true.
Yeah.
That's what we call a performative contradiction. So then, what is truth?
Saying basically that like relativity and subjectivity have nothing to do with truth.
No, relativity is the fundamental principle of reality, but not in the arbitrary sense people usually take it.
Okay.
The idea that things relate to one another is the structure of reality.
Okay.
Subjectivity is just a consequence of reality. It's not fundamentally implicated. And like obviously, right? Because like we evolved from non-subjectivity.
Yeah. So like when everyone knew it to be true that the Earth was the center of the universe,
When everyone believed it to be true, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
When everyone believed that they knew it to be true, let's say.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to them, it was in fact true.
No, it seemed true.
It wasn't.
But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. You could say it was subjectively true. Maybe I accept that, but it was not true.
Is there such a thing as subjective?
I think
Subjective truth is the truth you believe subjectively.
Yeah, I think so. What you're saying is that like there is no subjective truth. There is truth outside of.
No, there is subjective truth insofar as you think your opinion is true. That is your subjective truth. You're going to act as if it is true, but subjective truth is fundamentally superseded by objective truth.
Wouldn't religion be classified as subjective truth?
Religion would be
you
classified
could give
as
it a
an
go. You could give it a go, but your mic's also like pretty bad at the moment.
Did he just say that religion?
Yeah, I
could be
believe
taken
so.
as objectively true.
I believe he said that. Yeah.
I'd like to see your proof.
We can't hear you, man.
Subjective.
Dabine, we can't hear you.
You gotta put your mic close to your mouth. Why is he isolating Doom? So I guess truth could be that which exists outside of everything, outside of belief, reality objectively, outside of belief, and outside of
reality.
No, not outside. Inside of reality, outside of belief. Like,
Okay,
and
so
not necessarily because. So there were like things they did to demonstrate that we were the center of the universe, right?
Yep. I know. I was just thinking, like, there's a distinction there
Yeah.
that needs to be made, which is that it's not just that you believe it, it's that because you act as if what you believe is true, when you look at the world, you see things based on what you believe. So your perception is fundamentally affected by what you believe. So it's like what you're talking about is that because their frame of reference was biased in such a way that they weren't like accounting for their what would you say, their blindness properly, right? They like had sort of like a blindness to one specific side, you know, like they were sort of
like the ability for the Earth not to be the center of the universe was not like the amount of weight that held in their was less.
Yeah, so they looked at all the evidence through the frame that it's probably the center of the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that like heavily biased the experiments they did. So that's what I'm saying. It's like what I would say is true is what is as it is, independently of subjective perception, evaluation, or observation.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with what we think of it, what we know of it, what we can show. None of that.
Because everything that's true would be true without you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
So completely absent of subjective reality.
No.
Actuality. Truth exists. in that.
No, because as a consequence of truth, here we are. It's not
Okay.
absent.
Okay,
It's just that-
so in subjective reality, there are truths that exist outside of subjective reality as well, so that makes that false, right?
What I'm
So
saying
even-
is that truth is something that exists as it exists, unaffected by subjective perceptions, but it's not like an exclusive either objective truth or subjective truth, because a consequence of objective truth is that subjective truth evolved.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say, though. Like,
Okay. Well,
yeah, that basically there can be subjective truths that are also objectively true.
Oh yeah, but I think I wasn't sure that emphasized the relationship I was looking for there.
So what are we drinking tonight in the tavern?
Memes.
Teams?
Yeah, how did you know?
Because I know we only drink the best.
Oh, I got a question. So, do you mind me asking in sync, like, what your thoughts are on like Antifa, like the group and the branding, like
Yeah, more than a bit of a joke.
more than that's
Yeah,
I
dude.
agree. I agree. Do you agree that in their attempts to achieve what they believe in, that the actual way they go about attempting this actually harms what they want to happen?
Performative contradiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Of course I do. That's why I said they're a joke.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and join us in the Nameless Debates Discord. We hope to see you there.